Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai. It is Tuesday, and we're going to be doing a follow-up to the video I did yesterday. And I promised to share with all of you my trip to India. Recently, I was there for about 2 months, and the launch of the System Science for Children program. We basically, as you know, I created a curriculum called the Foundations of Systems, which some of you have taken and many of you should take, and we made it accessible to adults. But one of the things I did was this year was the 10th anniversary of my mom's passing. Mother's Day just passed. So on the occasion of that and my mom's 10th year passing, I went back to India, and I wanted to not only commemorate her as my mother and the incredible things she did for me, but also to my grandparents and ancestors. So I went back to my village in deep South India, and I'll share with you all of this. I have some nice videos and scenes. So you're going to get a real appreciation for what an Indian village looks like if you haven't seen it. And so what we did in that village was recently I announced that, the program Foundations of Systems, which I believe everyone in the world should take, because it's the foundational knowledge for people to understand the science of everything in many ways, system science. And I've made it very accessible. You can go to vashiva.com/join. Let me just play that here. And you can get access to that. And there's a free book that we have. But separate from all of that, the important thing is that I went back to that village, and I've made the course and the curriculum accessible to everyone in the world who's a child absolutely free, because I believe this knowledge needs to get out because it helps people understand their body as a system, the science of all systems, political systems. It's a foundational knowledge, and it's part of our educational movement. But in addition, adults who take the course can also be philanthropists, and I'm giving everyone rights to also give the course to as many students as possible. Students meaning anyone who's 18 or below. So I'm going to share with you some of the recent stuff. Let me bring up this so you can see System Science for Our Children Global Launch from India. I could have launched it here, could have launched it anywhere, but I just thought it was fitting to launch it from there. And so let me give you a couple of idea where I went in India. First of all, if you haven't been to India, you'll notice that India is a subcontinent, in Asia here. China's up here. Nepal is over here. And India is down here. To the east, you have Thailand, Cambodia, Malaysia. And then even to the southeast, you have Australia down here. But that's where India is. Bombay or Mumbai is on, this is sort of where Hollywood or Bollywood is up here. Delhi is the capital of India. And then India has about 20 some odd states. And South India is where my family's from. And you can see South India, this is called the state of Tamil Nadu, where people speak Tamil. Nadu means land, Tamil Nadu, the land of Tamil. Over here is Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka. These are states. So think about like if you're in the United States, Massachusetts, Georgia, California. So this is Tamil Nadu. And by the way, here's Chennai, which is sort of the capital of Tamil Nadu. Pondicherry is south of Chennai, and everyone speaks French there. One of the things we need to understand is that when the British, when people came to India during colonialism, different European groups came to India, right? The British came to India, the Dutch came to India, the Portuguese came to India, the French came to India, and they all occupied different parts of India. So for example, the Portuguese occupied a place up here called Goa. People speak Portuguese, and they also speak an Indian language. Tamil Nadu and Chennai was really occupied by the British. Pondicherry here was occupied by the French, which is still part of Tamil Nadu, and so on. But anyway, and my family, or my ancestors from this land called Muhawur, they've called it, sometimes people call it Mugawur, and it's south of Madurai, which is south of Chennai. So we took, we drove all the way down here, and I'm going to show you some shots of that. So this is essentially driving into my village. Let me share with you this. And this is what the land looks like. So this is, all green. And by the way, it's the middle of summer. So it's even much more greener in other occasions. And from here, I think, how do I move to the next slide? Yeah. So then we come to the city of Mohur. Muham in Tamil means face. And Ur, even if you look in the Bible, the word Ur means land. Abraham came from the Ur of Chaldea, right? So what you'll see here is, hey, John, someone is posting using a bogus VA Shiva page, and I'm going to knock this person off. Everyone sees it. Someone is saying that I'm selling Bitcoins, so I'm going to block this guy, and we should probably get rid of this guy. Okay, I just got rid of him. So Muawur is our town, and as you see a sign nowadays, they have modern signs, very different than when I grew up there. And this is a shot as you go into the village. So this is what you'll see. This is an Indian village. You can see it's dirt. I mean, we had dirt roads when I grew up. They put some cement down. You'll see dogs. You'll see people with motorcycles, little kids going to school. But it's not like, beautiful paved roads. It's sort of a mishmash a little bit. But we're taking a right here, and we're going to be pulling up to where my grandparents' home is. Obviously, they passed on, but I'll show you that as we come over there. And this is the home that as a child. So this is, and by the way, you'll see temple monuments. People in villages always have little temples. That's the temple right there. So that's us in our car driving in. And that's my grandparents' home, which will be coming up shortly. But, it gives you an idea if you haven't been to India, right? This is where India, this is sort of the village structure. You can see how narrow the roads are. And this is a car going down there. And it's sort of incredible how the drivers actually drive on these roads, and they're able to actually navigate to these very, very small roads. But anyway, I'm sort of going to move forward. But you can see upcoming is a bunch of people waiting there. And they knew that I was coming, and they had literally created a little ceremony for me. These are people who would come there, and all these women had gotten dressed up in these very beautiful saris, waiting for my arrival. So that's the little temple, and there's this guy here, and they all were waiting here. So let me go back here. So when I arrived there, these women were there, and let me go back to this. And so these are, they had, there's different kinds of saris. These are called putta saris, and they're sort of your saris that you get decked out with when it's important, but you can see all these people are excited I was here. And then in India, when you go, when they honor you, they typically have a piece of cloth, and they put it over you. And so this gentleman here, who is one of the local people there, had put this there, And what we also noticed is people had taken out huge billboard ads. There must have been 10 or 15 of these, and I was quite sort of humbled by this all over the village. And this is no small feat for people to spend their money to do this. So they had said, the inventor of email, Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai. There's a picture of me with the president of India, Abdul Kalam. That's me when I'd visit. And this is the prime minister of India, Modi. So they had sort of put all this together in days. And here's another one at the school that I was going to speak at with these kids who are, young kids. You notice some of them have bare feet, some of them have shoes, some of them don't. And they'd also done this other one here, the inventor of email. So, so when I arrived, so after this, we went to the actual school, and the village. By the way, in India, what's interesting is villages are controlled, run by local governance. And it's typically women. A lot of women run these local villages. So you don't really have to talk about quote unquote feminism in India, because women run a lot of these villages. They had organized this event for me to speak at. at the local school, and there's about 1,500 kids. Now, I think I shared this yesterday. Many years ago, you'll see in this picture, many of these kids before were literally, they didn't have this schoolhouse. They were literally outside. It's about 10 or 15 years ago. They would sit under a mango tree, and my family and I had helped to build a bunch of buildings. So they actually have buildings, and we built a little computer center for these kids. So anyway, so these, when I arrived, these were the kids there. Let me play this for you. And you can see all the kids were pretty excited. So they have the girls here in their uniforms and the guys are in the back. So they separate the guys and the girls. And so there was some press there, etc. So that was that. And then I was given various gifts. This little young man had actually taken one of my pictures and he'd actually drawn it. And this was something, so, but I was given various gifts. Now, at the end of the day, what was interesting was this became sort of a news story. In India, people have different languages. The language here is called Tamil, Tamil, and the biggest news station, which reaches around 60 million people, had done a news story. Now, you won't be able to understand the language, but it was a pretty big news story because what I did was I made the announcement that many of these kids, when I did the event, were very excited to ask me what should they do in their careers, how could they better themselves. Education is a central part in all Indian families. And what I said was I'd come back to actually give everyone the Foundations of Systems course, because I felt that what happens in education, everything's siloed. You study biology, you study computer science, you study engineering. But what about learning something even more foundational, the foundations of systems? So I made a big announcement that I offered this course, and I also talked about my effort with Cytosolve to integrate Eastern and Western medicine. So this came out in a big way, and it reached around 60 million people in the local, throughout India. So let me play this for you, but you can see this is your local Indian news. And I'm not sure if you can hear this, but this is Indian. It was an exclusive story. You can see it's in the Tamil language. We honored one of the great leaders of India, a guy called Kamraj. That's Michelle. Everyone loved Michelle there. You can see all the kids really loving this. And then they had a huge stage set up. And the kids are, again, very excited. Various people introduced me, talked about my history. Yeah, you can't hear it because I'm not playing it because it's all, Anthony, it's all in Tamil. But I just wanted to let you know that it was a big news story, and the announcer is really announcing that Dr. Shiva has come back to his village to talk about the need to integrate Eastern and Western medicine and the need for a systems approach to understanding life, and that I was essentially offering the Foundation Systems course for free to all the kids, and we made it accessible. So this is a pretty big news story across India. And so for me, I shared with you that I want to offer this course to everyone, but I thought it would be most appropriate to launch it back in the village where I had, which was a place that I was very inspired by the various things that led me to where I'm today. So that's what happened. And we talked about the Foundations of Systems course, which I've shared with you. By the way, one of the things that I want to emphasize is, this course I used to teach at MIT, but I've made it accessible to anyone. You don't have to go to MIT. You don't have to be an MIT student. You don't have to know math. But we've given a $2,500 scholarship to all adults anywhere in the world to take. So there's no reason anyone should not be able to take it. It's a course that you can take on your own time, and you can go to vashiva.com/join. And then what I also did when and by the way, these, I'll come back to this, but I also told everyone in India that they get the book for free. And yesterday I read a little chapter of the book, but I wanted to read you sort of why this, if you get the System and Revolution book, it's absolutely free. You just have to cover shipping and handling now. But there's a first chapter in this book called Why Read This Book, and I'll read it to you. It says, "We have bread, but no health. We have land, but no freedom. We have quote unquote peace, but no truth. For truth, freedom, health, we need revolution. And to make revolution, you need a practical understanding of the principle of all systems. This book will teach you those principles in a practical way by using your body as a system. We've created a very powerful tool called Your Body, Your System. So we apply these systems principles to your body. Health and well-being will be a result, but more importantly, what you will really learn are the unifying principles of all systems, which will provide you the knowledge to make revolution on any system here and now. So imagine kids getting access to, I mean, the book is about 108, 116 pages, but they don't have to wait to go to, if they get accepted to MIT or not, or if they want to do engineering. So I believe that the knowledge in this course should be made accessible to every child, so it's absolutely free. And for you adults out there, I highly encourage you to take the course, and then you can be a philanthropist and you can give this course to as many, many kids as you want. People get access to another powerful book called Your Body, Your System. So the goal is not about, accumulating wealth and building some money-making institution here, but it's really to inspire adults to take the course, and then to you to be agents of change, where you don't have to be a billionaire. You can be a philanthropist, and you can offer this course to as many kids as you want. So please go do that, okay? So let me also continue sharing here a little bit. So by the way, these are, this is the fields that I grew up in. My grandparents owned a couple of acres of land when they were poor subsistence farmers. And you can see this is sort of, they don't own it anymore, but this is sort of the rice fields. You can see how beautiful they are. And you can see there's these beautiful storks that land there, but these are these wonderful fields that are there. Now, here's another picture of those storks. And this, you don't have to even be a great photographer. You can just point and click. And this is a hay field where my great grandfather used to, bale the hay. Michelle and I, we decided to go to his monument where they had cremated him, and this is the road over there to his, and that's where he used to work, and even when he was 90 years old. So this is his memorial, and this says 1870 to 1972. He lived up to 102, and this was an honoring we did for him. We prayed to God, and then we typically in India give coconuts. We honored his area, and then we prayed. And so this was to my great grandfather, not to my grandfather. So we're talking about my great grandfather, who I knew very, very well. Some of you may know the story, but my great grandfather was extremely hardworking. He was an indentured servant, which was a slave. He went from India to Burma to work. And after World War II, he came back to India, and he was very frugal, but if anyone needed any money for education, he would take whatever money he had and we'd give it away to people. So he was very revered, almost like a god in India. But you can see, and by the way, the ashes that he wanted put in is a little stream here. And this stream literally leads to the Indian Ocean right from here. So he knew where this would go to. So, by the way, in India, I want to make a commentary. You have street dogs everywhere, okay? And, in America, we own our dogs. We have pets. But across India, these animals are actually allowed to sort of coexist with humans. They run sort of wild, but they don't, it's rare they go bite humans. But human beings actually take care of the dogs. People make them clothes, they'll feed them. So the dogs have this very interesting symbiotic relationship with human beings. But, and these are some of the scenes, I want to play this scene. The next morning after this, we went out to just walk around the village because I wanted to show Michelle. And these are some of the scenes at sunrise you can see here. And now as I was walking, what you'll see here is there's a plant that I remember as a child that my grandmother, if people had any sinus issues, she'd have me go out and pick. And I saw the same flower. Now this flower, when you take the flower, you put the tip of the flower in your nose and she would tap it, and people would get relieved of any sinus issues. The leaf of this flower, if you pick it, let me see if we have a video of it, it will actually release like a white pus. And if you put it on any type of wound, it's an antibiotic. And that's the leaf of this, okay? So this was sort of the medical piece of it. After this, we went to go look at some palm fruit. We're not talking about date palms, but palm fruit. And these palm fruit grow on palm trees. And as I've shared with some of you before, the caste that I came from, our lot in life was to pick those palm fruit. That was our caste. That was sort of the low caste job. And tomorrow I'll share with you the palm tree, by the way, is an amazing tree for all the bourgeois liberals in the West who try to say they're into sustainability. They have no idea that these people that I'm going to share with you, and here's a picture of this guy that I'll share with you tomorrow. Here's a video of the, oops, let me share with you. Here's a video of the palm here, but I'm going to do a whole video tomorrow. And here's a guy, he's 60 years old and he climbs the palm. I mean, he's just ripped. You don't even have to go work out. But this guy climbs 300 trees every day and he brings back the palm juice, which I'll talk about tomorrow. And you can see he's 60 years old. And what this guy was telling me, I'll talk more about this, was that his father is 90 years old and he still climbs the palm trees. And he said his grandfather died at 118, up until 100 he climbed. So anyway, I hope that gives you a little bit of an insight into sort of where I grew up, but more importantly, that we've launched the system science program for our children, all your children, anyone's children. You can give it away to children all over the world, and we did it back in this village. So we wanted to give it to people who have very little access. So everyone here should take advantage of it. Also remember that we've made the book, System and Revolution, absolutely free. You just pay for shipping and handling. And this is really sort of the guidebook. You'll understand what a system is, what is a revolution, etc. And then over here, I want to recommend all of you who are adults, go sign up for the Foundations of Systems course. Go to vashiva.com/join. But the most important thing, I think the takeaway from today's discussion is that I was deeply inspired by my grandmother, who was a poor village farmer, to understand the body as a system. After my 50 years journey, I figured that out. I created a curriculum, and it's really my gift to you and the world, so all of you can really understand the science of systems, which is really what's needed in today's world. Once you understand the science of systems, no one can fool you. You can understand election systems. You can understand the immune system. You can understand, free speech as a system. What are the real issues? Or you can understand your body as a system, right? And this is a foundational knowledge that goes beyond writing, reading, writing, and arithmetic. In my view, the science of systems should be taught first, even before reading, writing, and arithmetic. So now we've made that accessible, so there's no excuse. So I want all of you, if you're an adult, take advantage of our $2,500 scholarship, take the course, and then that gives you access to a community, a whole bunch of other things. In fact, I'll play you, hey John, I'm probably gonna play the video, right? What the Foundations of Systems includes. You get courses, you get the curriculum, and then you can make this accessible to anyone, any kids that you want anywhere in the world. I think, let me play the video right now, what the feature includes. So let me play that so you understand that. Hello, this is Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai. Welcome to VA Shiva, the platform of education, technology, and activism, so you may raise your consciousness to win the truth, freedom, and health you need to create the future you deserve. The VA Shiva platform provides its truth, freedom, health warrior scholars the following 3 capabilities. Number 1, an ultimate education that is based on the science of systems. Number 2, technologies to empower you to take charge of your health, as well as social media tools, independent of big tech, so you can connect with other incredible truth, freedom, health warrior scholars equally fully dedicated like you to winning truth, freedom, and health. 3, instruments for activism, so you become a beacon of light in your online and offline community to educate others, growth and advancement. VA Shiva provides you the foundations of the science of systems, the ultimate education. The science of systems provides you the missing fundamental scientific knowledge to understand every system in and around you. The science of systems will enable you to uncover the real problem and real solution in any situation and on any issue. Concerning the educational component, first you will receive direct access to me to learn the science of systems in my 3-hour live private online group class that I run every week. Second, you will have access to archived lectures so you can continue your education independent of me. Third, you can test your proficiency in learning the fundamental principles and get a formal certification for the foundations of systems. Independent of this classroom education, you will receive also 4 important books. The first book is the best-selling classic Systems and Revolution, from which you can learn all of these concepts and more. The second book is The Science of Everything, that will educate you on how the science of systems is the foundational knowledge of every system in the universe. The third book, Your Body, Your System, focuses on how to understand the interplay of these systems within your own body. And then the fourth book, Your System, Your Life, will help you apply these principles to other aspects of your life, such as running a business, understanding relationships, and more. Beyond the curriculum and books, the second capability is the technologies that you will be afforded. One of them is a powerful Your Body, Your System software, which is an online laboratory where you can use your body as a system to further deepen your understanding of the science of systems. The tool allows you to understand what kind of system you are. Is your system on course or is it off course? And how the inputs of food, supplements, herbs, activities such as sleep, yoga, meditation, exercise can affect your body to bring it back on course. Finally, to support your education, I've also included a seminal scientific paper that I wrote, which will help you understand that the knowledge of systems, it does not only originate in the modern world starting in the 1920s and 30s, but it actually dates back 10 to 20,000 years and intersects directly with the foundations of Eastern systems of medicine. In addition to this, you will also get 2 scientific papers sharing how the science of systems can also be used to apply to understanding how food is medicine. One paper exposes turmeric from the molecular systems level and how it affects your body. The other paper explores ginger and how that affects your body. That's just the educational piece. As you raise your consciousness through this education, you will likely want to connect with other truth, freedom, health warrior scholars in an environment where you can connect and build community. To support that, I've also created 2 powerful social media tools. One of them is a VA Shiva forum. Here you can start discussions, you can pose questions and meet others and have healthy debates. The other is VA Shiva Social, where you can create your own profile, your own presence, like other major social media tools. However, it is independent of big tech. You can use VA Shiva Social to interconnect with your fellow truth, freedom, health warrior scholars and build community. Beyond the education capability and the social media capability, the platform also enables you to take action by disseminating your knowledge on the ground and into your local online and offline communities. Powerful educational cards and research are included so you can pass these cards to your friends and neighbors that provide them summarized content which further directs them to online research and education. In addition to this, the activism component also provides you many short 1-minute educational video content, memes, and text, allowing you to quickly craft messages for your Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and other pages so you can deliver content to educate others and drive them to longer educational posts on VA Shiva. VA Shiva is fundamentally an enabling platform for you to get the truth, freedom, and health you deserve through education, technology, and activism. I hope you become a truth, freedom, and health warrior scholar today. Thank you. All right, everyone. I hope that was enjoyable. So we have 2 choices tomorrow. Let's see what people want me to do. So I can do the video tomorrow on continuing my trip to India, talking about the palm tree pickers and this amazing product that they make from the palm tree. Or we can take a break from India and I can share with you the truth about Twitter and really find out, is Elon Musk going to do the right thing? And it's really going to talk about the findings of our lawsuit, as many of you know, where we really showed that this is really not about big tech or Twitter. It's about the fact that there's an unholy alliance with government and big tech, which I don't see really discussed in the media. I've not seen Musk talk about this. So let me look at the comments. What video would you guys like me to do tomorrow? Choice 1 is I continue the India journey that I just went through and talk about one of these very interesting products and the family that I met who picks a palm fruit. Or I could talk about, and come back to that, talk about the truth about Twitter and really pose the question, is Elon Musk really an agent of change, or what's he really going to do? Which one would you guys like? So Desiree says India, India. Selena says both. Michael says Twitter, India. So we have 4 for Twitter, 5 for, I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 for India, 2 for Twitter. Anthony says India. Looks like India, John, won. Okay. We'll do India, and then the next day I will do about Twitter. And we'll ask the question, will Elon Musk do the right thing given the findings that we discovered from our lawsuit? And we'll do that. Someone says India more urgent. Okay, wait a minute. I think we have to recount this again. John, you want to do this counting? Ready? So we have 1 for 1 for palm fruit. Okay. So palm fruit 1. India. It looks like it's India. I think, guys, people want India. Let's say. People saying both. Should we do both?
We could do India first.
We could do India first and then go into Twitter. But that may be a double header. I think we should do, let's say we have palm, India 2, India 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now for Twitter, 17. For Twitter, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like 6 for Twitter. So I think we got to do India. India wins. So we'll do India tomorrow, and then the following day we will do Twitter. Okay, even though it's urgent, we got to go with what the audience wants. All right, everyone, we'll do India tomorrow, but you're going to learn an amazing product. You're going to learn about this palm tree, how these people use every part of the palm tree, and one of the products they create is a sugar, but it's a very low glycemic sugar, and I brought some here. And when you want to talk about organic, this is beyond organic. It's like just phenomenal. It's a phenomenal product. Anyway, thank you, everyone. I wish you all well. I hope, 2 homework assignments for everyone. If you haven't signed up for the Foundation Systems course, do that. It's a way that you're actually supporting kids. And then you get to be a philanthropist because you can offer the course to anyone that you want, So that's part of the gift here is you get to learn, and then you also get to be a philanthropist. So please take advantage of that and be well. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.